Hello, YouTube. It's good to see you. My name is Mark Dolfini of Strategic Boardroom. How committed are you to your goals? When you're fully committed, the reality is there's some real magic there. When you're 100% committed, there is some real magic that can happen. Think about it for just a second. I mean, it kind of makes sense. How would you, let's say that you're in a committed relationship for just a second. And if you're in a committed relationship, how would you feel if that person on the other end of the relationship was 99% committed? 99% committed. You can rely on them 99% of the time. I don't know about you, but that's a great way to get shot in the neck. if you're married to my bride, she would not be okay with 99%. And that's the that's a real cool thing, is that when you're 100% committed to whatever it is, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a business, whether it's some sort of endeavor, there is no other way out. The only thing that will matter is success, right? When you're fully committed. Now, again, it does take, obviously in a relationship, it takes both. But when you're committed to whatever idea you have in your business, whatever, it allows yourself to be more creative. It's saying, you know what? I'm not giving myself a lifeboat. I'm, burning the boats. I'm not giving myself an out. I'm not going to keep this potentially thing on the back burner just in case, right? There's no just in case. Like, this has to work. And it's really interesting because when you're fully committed, you don't have to spend mental energy fighting temptations and distractions and all those things that can come up, right? This is going to be a short video, but I just want to make a couple of points here on staying fully committed. And yeah, I get it. It can be a real challenge, but there's there's 3 things that you can do to help with that. Number one, there's so many books that were written about operating from a written plan. Number one is strictly operate from a written plan. I know that sounds super basic. I think it was the 12-week year. I just read that not too long ago, a few months back. And his whole point was operating from a strategic written plan. And I think that makes so much sense. And I've done that. I've operated like that for a few years. And it sounds super basic. And I know, let's be honest with you, it's like, yeah, but I know what I need to do. The reality is most of you aren't going to do it, but there is just something magical about the level of ownership of taking the time to write down your vision and your strategic plans and working from them each day. So when I'm talking about operating from a written vision, I'm talking about where you want to go. You as a human, where do you want to go? What are you trying to create? And then that business, right? The business exists to serve us, right? Not the other way around. So when you're operating from a written personal vision, and when you're operating from a written business vision, and then you're operating from a written strategic plan and working from them each day and then tracking the metrics, man, there is just something powerful to that. Let's go to number 2. Think of what could derail your commitments, okay? So when you're thinking about what could derail your commitments, this is called presupposition. Now, that's just a fancy way of saying in advance, like, how am I going to be led off track, okay? Think in advance of, okay, if I'm going to try to lose 10 pounds, how could I be caught off track? How could I be led off track with this? And how could I respond to those temptations? So let's say you're trying to lose 10 pounds. Well, who do you need to enroll into that idea? Who do you need to have that conversation with to say, hey, look, I love you, neighbor, but please don't come over on Thursday nights with 2 pizzas and a 6-pack of beer because I'm trying to lose 50 pounds, right? That's called presupposition. So you want to presuppose what would derail you from your commitments, okay? Think about that in advance, and that way you can plan ahead for when those things come up, when those distractions show up in your life. And number 3, I should have made a graphic for these, but have an accountability partner. So let me review real quick because I didn't write these down. I should have prepared a graphic. I will do better next time. But number 1 is operate from a written plan. Number 2 is engage in presuppositions. Think of what could derail you from your commitments. And number 3, have an accountability partner. Let's face it, no one can truly hold you accountable but yourself. But having someone that you report to vastly improves your chances that you're going to stay committed to your goals. Even if it's just, hey, each night I have an accountability partner. In fact, right now I have 2 accountability partners that we're all holding each other accountable to say, hey, these are my wins for today. This is what I'm planning on doing tomorrow. And that's the extent of it right now. There's really nothing more than just reporting. And the reporting function in the Viper method, it's vision, infrastructure, process, and planning, execution, and R is reporting, right? Reporting is so important because we're paying attention to the lead metrics. We're paying attention to the activities that are generating our lag metrics, the things that are showing up after the fact. So this is really, really important, is when you're looking and you're reporting this to an accountability partner, that you have these metrics available. And even if it's not, you're not necessarily tracking metrics, but you're at least tracking your activity. And from each day, you know that you're marching towards that written vision. You know you're doing the things that are working in your favor, and more importantly, the things that are not working that you need to adjust. So listen, if you're needing help staying committed and would like to know what that's like to have a life and business strategist in your corner, look, just drop a message in here and I'll reach out to you and we'll figure out a way to just have a quick conversation. I don't sell real hard on any calls. That's not what this is about. It's about helping you and helping you the best way that I can. All right. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you guys next time.